and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury beauty. Today we are taking a look at the new Givenchy fall collection for 2022, and it is gorgeous. The whole collection has not been released yet, and honestly, whether or not all of the pieces are going to be available in the US, I'm not really sure on that yet. But 3 items have been released. We have this beautiful pink highlighter. This is a limited edition. By the way, all of these pieces are a limited edition. And then we have a Le Rouge Sheer Velvet lipstick, as well as one of the Rose Perfecto lip balms. And these are both new shades that are not in the permanent lineup. They're both limited edition. There are, in the rest of the collection, there's actually another sheer velvet, another lip balm, as well as an eyeshadow palette. So I haven't seen those pieces come out. So we're going to take a look at swatches, comparisons, demos, and let's get started. So I just got a new camera and new lights and everything, and I'm working on figuring everything out. So definitely leave any feedback that you might have down below in the comment box. But let's start off with some swatches. We're going to take a look at the Prisma Libre highlighter. So here in the States, we don't have access to the blushes that are in this loose powder format. I absolutely love them. You can purchase them from the US through Feel Unique. That's where I purchased mine, and there is free shipping and everything. It's actually, they have good sales. So if you're interested in those, definitely check them out. But last year for the holidays, Givenchy came out with a loose powder highlighter like this that was gold that I actually have right here. Really beautiful packaging here. And it's stunning. I keep it on my vanity because I still use it all the time. This year they came out with a pink one. So take a look at the shades of pink. This is number 11. And again, it's limited edition. There's 0.21 ounces. There are 4 different shades in here, or 4 different quadrants rather, where they are 1.5 grams each. And if you look, actually it's only 2 different shades. So the 2 diagonal are going to be different from each other. So let's take a look. I kind of got the puff a little dirty already, but let me try to show you that there. And let's take a look at it here in the lid. So here it is in the lid. And it's really hard to kind of isolate the shades in these because you can see they are small containers. So honestly, I'm not even going to bother. So this is the highlighter. And it is a really beautiful pearlescent pink, kind of like a pearl pink. And it's stunning. So you've got 2 lighter shades, 2 deeper shades in here, and you mix them together to get something a little bit more medium tone. But let's just do another swatch there. Look at the luminosity of this. It's really, really pretty. And again, you kind of get this like pearlescent effect with it, this luminosity, without seeing like chunks of glitter or anything like that. So this, again, is made in Italy, limited edition, number 11. We also have 2 lip products. So this is Le Rouge Sheer Velvet. This is one of my absolute favorite formulas. And you can see the limited edition case here is stunning. So this feels, it feels like a rubbery plastic, you know, kind of coating, but you can see you've got the Givenchy logo kind of all over it. At the top, you have the Givenchy logo, and then there is a metal strip there. So this is shade number 51. We're going to put this on my hand here. So let's do 1 sheer swatch, and then I'm going to build that up next to it. Look at that. So it's an orange. It's a really pretty fall orange. It actually reminds me of the Rouge Saffron, I think it's Rouge Saffron, or Saffron something shade in the Sheer Velvets, which we will compare it to. And I think it's really pretty if you're looking for kind of that rusty orange kind of color, like a terracotta orange. This is it. We also have one of the Rose Perfecto lip balms in 525, and let me just show you this gorgeous marbled appearance here. I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful. And you can see there's little bits of shimmer in this. So it's not super shimmery. I have it on my lips now. You don't really notice like glitter pieces and so forth. So let's take a look at a swatch here. Here's one sheer layer. And then let's just build this up a bit. And look at this. You can see it's more of like a medium tea rose with a little bit more of an infusion of carnation pink in there. So not quite as dusky as a true rose. There's a little bit more vibrancy to it. It's a really beautiful soft pink shade. And right now on my lips, I'll show you this in the lip demos, but I have on a very light layer of the shade 51 in the sheer velvet, kind of tapped on. And then I topped it with 525. So I balanced the orange a little bit for my complexion with some of this pink. I'm going to show you a few quick demos of these products so you can see them in action while we talk a little bit about these. Now, starting off with the highlighter. This highlighter, again, it's a 2-color loose powder highlighter, and it specifically says on the box that there are 2 colors in here. And according to Givenchy, it's a breath of pearlescent light for a complexion enhanced with multi-dimensional radiance. This powder leaves a subtle veil of colored shimmer, buildable from a slight natural halo of light to an intense mirror-like shine. Thanks to its airy light, soft and ultrafine texture, the powder merges with the skin and naturally captures the light without any material effect. The complexion is magnified and sculpted by highlighted facial features. Apply with an integrated puff or a brush. So I chose to use the brush. I don't really like to use the puffs for highlighter. I think this highlighter is really beautiful. And in this demo here, I do not have any blush or anything on my skin. I really wanted you to see the color of the highlighter on its own and how it builds. So I'm wearing the Givenchy Prisma Libre foundations. I have a mix of the Glow and the matte foundation, 50-50 mix, and then just the highlighter. That's the only thing on my cheeks. So as I mentioned before, this has 4 different quadrants. There are 2 colors total. Each quadrant is 1.5 grams total. So we have a total net weight of 0.21 ounces. And there is a 1-year shelf life on this product. It is limited edition and it's made in Italy. I think it's absolutely stunning. And again, there really aren't any like glittery particles. You do have some shimmer and some shine in here. So it's very, very, very finely milled glitter. So if you continue building it up, you can see a little bit of that. But if you're going to apply it like a typical highlighter, it's not noticeable. You get light reflection from it, but it can be very subtle. Now, if you are somebody who wants to build it up and get kind of that disco ball shine, I would definitely recommend using a buffing brush, something flat topped and dense, like the Sonia G Smooth Buffer or something like that. Now, I have worn this highlighter a few times, and I think it's actually really pretty if you buff it all over your cheeks and then you apply your blush on top of it, or even just as a highlighter. So those are kind of my 2 favorites. Today, I have it applied, as you see in the demo, all over the cheeks with it was the Sonia G Cheek Pro, I think. Yes, the Cheek Pro brush. So I put that on all over, but then I topped it with one of the Givenchy loose powder blushes. So I use the Givenchy Prisma Libre blush in number 3, Voile Coral, which is kind of this peachy coral shade. So it doesn't have quite as much pink as a true coral, in my opinion. Let me just go ahead and swatch this for you. But it's a really pretty shade. So I put this on top of the highlighter so that it kind of just diffused into it a little bit. And I have just a tiny bit more highlighter kind of right above that. So you can see how the blush and the highlighter, you can put the blush on top of the highlight. It will disguise a little bit of that shimmer and so forth, but it really can give you kind of this natural radiance coming through. Now, as I mentioned, if you're interested in those loose powder blushes from Givenchy, which I absolutely love, I would recommend purchasing from Feel Unique if you're in the United States, because they do have great shipping, they have sales, and it's an easy place to get them. Now, one thing to note, Feel Unique was recently purchased by Sephora. So not the Sephora here in the US. I mean, it's obviously the same parent company, but the Sephora UK family is going to be taking over that, I believe. So if you are interested in those, I wouldn't take too long to make up your mind, just because I don't know how long we will still be able to purchase from them here in the US, whether that's going to be something that continues with the new ownership or if that's going to be a feature that goes away for us. So let's move on to the Le Rouge Sheer Velvet. This is shade 51, which is limited edition. I have to say I absolutely love the formula of these. They are one of my favorite lipstick formulas. You can put these on very lightly and get kind of that sheer blurred look to your lips, or you can pile these up a little bit more. They're not going to get as deep as or saturated as the Le Rouge Deep Velvet lipsticks, but you can definitely get a ton of pigment from these. They are not lacking in pigmentation. They are just going to give you more of that sheer blurred effect. And I think they are great. They're weightless on the lips, and you just don't really feel them. They're not drying or anything like that. So I absolutely love them, to the point where I have now picked up all of the shades that exist. Now, the cases for these Le Rouge Sheer Velvets and Deep Velvets, these will fit on any of those lipsticks. So if you purchase this and you love this limited edition case, but you want to put it on a different color, they definitely all fit. So you know, definitely something to keep in mind when you're purchasing, because this packaging is stunning. Now, this particular shade reminded me a lot of the Rouge Saffron shade. So let's take a look at that. So the permanent ones come in kind of this dusty pink velvet case. And this here is shade number 34, Rouge Saffron. And we're going to put this right here. That. So you can see that this is going to have, just building it up next to it, this is going to have more red in it. Whereas shade 51 has a little bit more of like that marigold tone to it. So there's more yellow in it, and it's more orange than orange red. And this shade here, 34 Rouge Saffron, it was actually an exclusive in Japan until just recently. It's now available for purchase on the Givenchy website, but I haven't seen it at any other retailers. It is an exclusive. So if you're interested in this shade, you're gonna have to check the Givenchy website directly. Now, I have one other lipstick that it made me think of, and that is a Suku Sheer Matte. And this was a limited edition for the summer collection, so you might still be able to find it around. But this is shade number 108, and this was like the first orange lipstick I actually really liked. I'm gonna put this right along the top, but you can see how this is going to be more of like a vibrant orange. Definitely great for summer, whereas the Givenchy is definitely more muted, more fall-like. So I think they're all great colors, and those are the only comparisons I have for that. It's not a go-to lip color for me, and it's something I'm just starting to get into. Now, just a couple more things about the Le Rouge Sheer Velvets. These are refillable. So if you are interested in refilling this in the future, you just pull this portion out, and it has, you know, the little socket there for it to snap back in, and just something easy to do. So it is refillable, but it is a limited edition shade, and it's 3.4 grams. It's made in France. So really just a great product. Moving on to the Rose Perfecto lip balm. This is shade 525. Again, this is limited edition. This is 2.8 grams of product, and it's made in France. These are not refillable, but again, this case can definitely be switched out with any of the other cases in the line. So I have to say, I really love Givenchy lip products. I think they are an underrated brand with some of the best lip products, and these lip balms are no exception. I love the marble look of them as well. So we're going to compare this with some of the shades in the permanent line, but just look at the amount of shine you get from this. It's a moisturizing lip balm. It definitely adds some hydration to my lips. It's very comfortable. It's smooth and balmy. It doesn't feel oily or sticky in any way. There is a little hint of mint, which adds to a little bit of a lip plumping effect. It's not one of those overpowering mint products, so it's just a little bit. Now, something to note, all Givenchy products, they are fragranced, so the lipsticks and these lip balms do have a Givenchy fragrance. I find it to be more subtle in the lip balms than in the lipsticks, but honestly, the fragrance in all of these lip products, none of those bother me. I don't find them to be aggravating for me personally. But again, fragrance is an individual thing, so check it out yourself. So let's take a look at some comparisons here. This is shade 102, and you can see this is kind of like a beautiful marbled rose shade here. And let's just put this right here next to it. And you can see these two here are shade 102. This is the 525. So they are going to be fairly close to each other, but this is going to be slightly cooler in tone than the 525. The 525 is ever so slightly warmer. Again, these are lip balms though, so the effect you have on the lip, you're not going to see a major color difference on the lips. That's really going to be the closest, but I also wanted to take a look at this one, which is 303. You can see that this is going to be a red shade. I'm going to put this one right below. You can see it's going to be more vibrant, but it's another beautiful shade, and it does have some of the similar undertones to it. So this is going to be just a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more shocking. Obviously, it's a more pigmented lip color. But another product I wanted to show you, this is one of the Sisley lip shines. This is Sheer 11, or Sheer Blossom number 11. I'm going to put this right at the top here. This is slightly warmer than the Givenchy in 525, but the colors are pretty close. This is also a really nice product. This has a vanilla fragrance, so if you prefer vanilla over the mint, this might be a good option. And notice this is going to be sheer, shiny. The Givenchy has just a little bit of shimmer in it. Not glitter particles that you can see, but it does have just a little bit more shimmer, more finely milled. All right, so I have to say, I really like all the lipsticks. Now, we have done some comparisons for the lip products already, but we haven't really compared anything with the highlighter. So we're going to start off with last year's highlighter here. This is called Organza Or. It's number 10. And this actually has a blend of a dusky rose and a bronzy gold. And we're just going to mix this. We're not going to separate it, but when you mix them together, you get this really beautiful, like kind of metallic gold shade, but it's softer than what you might expect by looking at the sides. So notice the finish on this is just a little bit more metallic, a little stronger, more intense than this year's pink highlighter, but they can both be applied subtly if you desire, or you can build it up. To say I really like it. I use that one still all the time. All right, so I don't have a ton of comparisons for this, but we're going to start off with the Cle de Peau 201 Twilight's Glow. And let's go ahead and put this, let's see if we can put it right here below it. So Twilight's Glow, you can see this is actually slightly whiter, but than the Givenchy, but the the shimmer and the finish of this is going to be very similar. So the Givenchy is a little bit more pink than the Cle de Peau 201. Another one I wanted to look at is the pink part of the Chantecaille Les Paillettes. If you happen to still have this, this is going to have a more metallic finish. Let's put this here on the side. But it's a really beautiful shade. You can see that this shade of pink, it's a little bit more of like a champagne shade, a champagne pink, than the pearly pink you get from the Givenchy. And of course we have to look at the shimmery pink from Givenchy. This is one of my favorite highlighters, but again, this is not going to be as pink. This is more similar, we'll put this right here. This is more similar to the Chantecaille we just looked at. It's a little bit more of this like nude pink with some champagne in there. This is the Laura Mercier Rose Glow. And let's take a look at that. And let's see here, we're gonna put that one right here. You can see that this is gonna be a deeper highlighter, and it's just, the finish of this is not gonna be quite as smooth either. So yeah, they're not that comparable. One of my favorite palettes, the Guerlain Meteorites Pearl Dust palette. I wish they would bring this back. We're gonna take a look at the pearly pink shade here. And let's see, where's a good spot to put this? We'll put this right here in between these two. And this is going to be a little bit of a warmer pink. It's a little bit duskier. It's still not going to have that kind of baby pink kind of look to it that you get from the Givenchy. The Givenchy is a little lighter and brighter. So this sums up all of my thoughts and comparisons on this part of the collection. I do hope the rest of the collection comes out here in the US at some point, and I am keeping an eye out for it. So keep an eye on my community posts and my Instagram. If you aren't following me there, I'm at Alexis Jong. But in my stories, I definitely post every time there's a new release and so forth, and where you can purchase it. So keep an eye out for that, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell here on my channel for new content like this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you very soon. Have a great day.